Hybrids as a technology have been around forever. In the early 2000s, the Toyota Prius became something of a status symbol among Hollywood's A-listers because of the insane fuel efficiency figures that it was capable of delivering. So it didn't matter if they were flying around in private jets or booking entire gas-guzzling, I'm assuming gas, yachts for like 4 people because the hybrid Prius bought them karma points. Now, this may have been symbolic or whatever, but it did manage to get the technology as a whole a lot more mainstream acceptance. However, in India, hybrids as a technology have either been mild, too expensive, or largely symbolic. But all of that is about to change, and that's the bottom line, because Japan said so. Yes, we're talking about the Toyota Urban Cruiser Hyryder. Why couldn't they just call it the Toyota Hyryder? And the Maruti Suzuki Grand Vitara, or rather, the one bit of technology that's going to be their claim to fame: a strong hybrid powertrain. For the longest time now, Japanese automakers Suzuki, Toyota and Honda have been pushing for the more widespread acceptance of hybrid powertrains in India. Now, Maruti Suzuki has made the widespread application of mild hybrid powertrains. Honda has given us tasters with the Civic Hybrid, the Accord Hybrid and now the City Hybrid, and even Toyota has been introducing hybrids with cars like the Toyota Camry as well as some CBUs. But why, when Jaguar Land Rover, Mercedes, BMW, the Volkswagen Group, Tata, Mahindra and Ford and everybody else is insisting on battery electric vehicles, are the Japanese so driven on hybrids? Well, it's because most of these brands do not believe in a one-solution future. Most of these brands believe in a spread of different technologies, and that is going to include mild hybrids, strong hybrids, fuel cell vehicles, and even plug-in hybrids. So we decided to take a specific look at strong hybrid powertrains, get a better understanding of what are their pros, and also explore some arguments against them. First of all, it's an easier switch. The usage pattern of a hybrid powertrain or a hybrid car isn't all that different from a regular petrol or diesel car. You're still filling up at the same stations, you don't have to change your driving pattern either, nor is there some kind of learning curve with the ownership experience. You don't have to look after what kind of charging points you have available to you, not going to limit your car to just city use, which may end up being the case with battery electric vehicles, especially in budget segments. No one has a problem with efficient technologies, but when it comes to cars, it's not as simple as just being a question of cost saving. Otherwise, the Maruti Suzuki Celerio diesel would have been a runaway success. Now, with rising fuel prices, a lot of people have turned to CNG, but even on that front, there is some hesitation. Yes, it is a more affordable fuel to run, but people associate CNG with long lines, taxis, rickshaws, so it doesn't seem all that appealing. Basically, the cost benefits are appealing, but the variables around it are not. But with a strong hybrid powertrain, it's effectively becoming a new conversation topic. The hybrid powertrain itself is a bragging right. And as mentioned before, you're getting petrol car refinement, you're filling up at the same station as you would have otherwise with a regular petrol or diesel car. Nor do you have to worry about, oh, is this charging station going to be operational, or oh, how much time is this charge up going to take? Hybrid cars, when driven right, are actually very fuel efficient, to the extent that you can expect highway fuel efficiency figures in city traffic. Especially in the case of hybrid cars that are capable of running on battery power, especially in city commutes, you can land up saving gallons of fuel on a monthly basis because the car's system is tailored to minimize the engine's use to directly drive the vehicle. So while the electric and ICE combo has some obvious benefits when it comes to fuel efficiency, in city traffic you can almost think of hybrid cars as battery electric vehicles. As popular as electric vehicles are getting, there is a fair bit of government incentivizing involved in getting their purchase price down to a more attractive standpoint, or even making their ownership costs more reasonable. And this applies to both India as well as markets overseas. In the case of hybrids, especially if the components of the hybrid powertrain can be localized, the incremental cost versus a petrol or diesel car is not as much, and you can make up that increased cost a lot quicker because of the efficiency benefits that you get with the car itself. Alright, now we need to talk about some of the cons. While switching to an electric vehicle may have a higher upfront purchase cost, It is an absolute kind of deal because you're wiping your hands completely clean of fuel expenditure going into the future, whereas the argument with hybrids is a matter of reduction, not elimination. So while you are paying a premium over a standard petrol or diesel car up front, you aren't wiping your hands clean of fluctuating petrol prices, nor are you necessarily going to be immune to changing government regulations around gas-powered cars. What is your definition of good fuel efficiency? Today, a normal turbo petrol car like the Volkswagen Virtus can manage a real-world fuel efficiency of about 12 kmpl in the city and 19 to 20 kmpl on the highway. How much would those figures need to go up before you define the added cost of a hybrid powertrain as worth it? Also, with a hybrid car, while you can get insanely high fuel efficiency figures in the city because the hybrid powertrain and the battery pack specifically comes into play more often, the difference between a hybrid and a non-hybrid car on the highway, it isn't that much. Another sort of trade-off with hybrids is that they aren't all that exciting to drive. The performance is there, don't get me wrong, but they don't feel as connected to drive when you put the hammer down. Contrarily, the switch to an EV does come with some giggles with the performance, and you don't even have to hit particularly high speeds to get those giggles. Now, this was a short discussion, but we'd love to hear from you as well. There are a couple of questions that I'd like you guys to answer. Alright, get ready in the comment section down below. First of all, have you been waiting for hybrid powertrains, strong hybrid powertrains to hit the mass market? And if yes, why? 2. If you are a hybrid vehicle owner, what are the pros and cons of your ownership experience? Something that only you would be able to tell us based on your real world experience in India. And 3. How much of a price premium would you be willing to pay for a strong hybrid powertrain compared to a mild hybrid? As always, if you did not like this video, do give it a proper strong dislike. But if you did like it, give it a thumbs up, consider sharing it as well. And if you have not already, do go ahead and hit subscribe. Hey, follow us on Instagram too. Bye-bye.